Karl and the Kayak. And we're back. After 5 years, I think, 4.5.
Something like that.
It's good to be back, man.
It is, here by the banks of the great Potomac River.
So, had a lot of contract negotiations. How do you feel, Dan? Do you feel like you've been compensated fairly?
I think my camp is happy for now. We're going to have some renegotiations in the future. We're, as you know, still negotiating with Mariska and her folks, but we expect that to get done by the third episode, I believe.
Third or fourth episode. You know, I'm working on it. Our people have been tough to get a hold of, but we'll get there. So it's been a long time, a lot of changes. I see this season of Karl and the Kayak being the best yet. We're going to have a lot of guest appearances. I think Scott McPartland's going to come on.
Scotty
Maybe
McPee.
some of my coworkers. I'm excited for the next season. It's just been too long. A lot's happened. The biggest thing that's happened with me is I have a dog now. His name is Bird, after Larry Bird. He's the greatest living thing of all time. And I love him so much. Dan, why don't you introduce yourselves to our new fans?
All the new fans, I am Dan the cameraman of fame, the first most important person on this show. Second most important person is the one you'll be hearing from now.
Yes, I agree, Dan. I couldn't do it without you.
That's right, as the contract states, you couldn't do it without me.
So let's get started. Obviously, after 4 years, people have built up a lot of excitement and had a lot of questions. So we're going to do a two-parter today. There's been so many questions, I had to kind of cut it off. So I'm going to give the people what they want. So, first question from Mark Sheldon. What are your thoughts on Kyrie Irving? So, Kyrie Irving, I would take him to the airport. I was tired of that guy. I watched every game last year. Just a me-first player. I think with Kemba, we're going to be much better this year, probably 10 more games better. So, good riddance. Don't miss him at all. Glad he's gone. Brielle, my coworker from Inova, says, what actor would play you in a movie? It's a tough one. You know, I think
Gary Coleman.
Let's just say that. Gary Coleman would come back and play me. I look similar to Gary Coleman, right? I'll just say, you know, Leo. You know, we look similar. Or Robert Redford. You know, I could be a young Robert Redford. Let's just say that. A good question.
He dreams well. What can I say?
Chris Milano asks, how many Super Bowls does Tom Brady have left? I think he has 2. We're going to win this year. We got a great receiving corps coming back, or a new receiving corps coming in. We have Edelman.
How do you feel about life without Gronk?
Life without Gronk's going to be tough. One of my favorite people of all time. Just a great human being. But he was injured a lot last year, so I think we'll be good. Another question from my coworker Nish, is cereal soup? I was thinking about this one. It is not, because you don't necessarily have to have milk in cereal. And soup always has to be liquid. I think cereal is not soup. In fact, I had dry Cheerios this morning.
Hey, I've tried Cheerios almost every day. So.
Yep. Another question from Nish, why do people like pineapple on a pizza? I have no idea. I think it's gross. Let's just go with pepperoni or sausage. Why make things so complicated? Pizza should be simple. I don't know why people like pineapple on a pizza, and I don't want to be friends with them. Sarah Sheldon, one of the boos. She asks, the Cleveland Indians are concerned about Francisco Lindor leaving the Indians after his contract is up after 2 years. Fans have proposed crowdfunding his salary. What are your thoughts on accepting crowdfunding to keep players in a city? I think, you know, in this day and age where players just move whenever they want, there's no loyalty, let's do it. Crowdfund. If, you know, for example, Larry Bird, if I was growing up in the Larry Bird age, I would give up my entire life savings to keep Larry Bird in Boston. So I'm all for it. I think crowdfunding to keep players who are loyal, especially to a city like Cleveland, is worth it.
I gotta be honest though.
What do you think?
People are
cameraman?
stupid enough to spend their own money on any sports team other than tickets. They're just idiots.
I agree.
Because there's so much money in sports. Come on. I mean, like, you don't need to crowdsource to keep somebody there. You should do a write-in campaign and get your ownership to realize how important somebody is. But that's Dan the cameraman's thought.
I agree. I agree, but let them be stupid. You know,
My stupidity reigns. You know?
stupidity reigns. Obviously, we're not going to go there in this episode. Casey, another Nova coworker, asked, "Is a hot dog a sandwich?" This is a classic question. The answer is it is not a sandwich. A sandwich is a turkey sandwich, a tuna sandwich, a chicken salad sandwich. When I get a hot dog, I don't think sandwich. A hot dog is a hot dog. It's in its own category. So the answer to that is a hard no. Kevin Gartland, one of my favorite people of all time. Where do you see Patrick Chung lining up this season? Will he play bump and run?
He's doing lines, all right.
For anyone who doesn't know, Patrick Chung got caught with cocaine possession. He's one of our best defenders. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to play this year. What an idiot. All I can say is what an idiot. You're paid to play football. Like, why do you need that stuff? Val, my awesome boss from Inova, ask, how many chickens does it take to kill an elephant? I would say 57. But it depends on if they are just wild chickens, if they've been fed lately, and it depends on the size of the elephant.
I'm also betting the good people at Inova would be able to save the elephant in that case.
Yes, they would. Inova rocks, by the way. She also asked, have you ever received a wedgie? I have not, and I hope to never.
I will make sure that happens at some point.
Couple more. Dan Lamoth asks, what is the most embarrassing or frustrating thing that Bird has ever done? How do you respond to such treachery? I love Bird to death. I'm whipped. He can do no wrong in my book. It's hard for me to get mad at him, but he's eaten about 7 of my hats. So I'd say all of that combined, he's peed on my floor, pooed on my floor. But none of that really matters. At the end of the day, he's the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. So I would say it is frustrating having to buy a new Celtics hat every 2 weeks and new shoes. He's eaten about 3 pairs of shoes, but that would be the most frustrating thing, but it's not really frustrating at the end of the day. And the last question for this episode is from Scott McPartland, Scotty McP. Hopefully we'll be a guest star soon.
I agree.
He asks, both of us, how has becoming an official hen affected your life? I believe the last Karl in the Kayak was prior to both of you taking the oath. So we have a group, we're the hens. It really has impacted my life. I feel like I always have a brotherhood for life. These are people that I can count on. The bro trips have been amazing. I feel like in 30 years we're still going to be having fun, still partying a little bit, watching the Pats, or I guess some of them are Redskins fans. Poor guys. And it's really nice to have those bro friendships. What do you think, Dan?
I agree. I mean, our group of guys, the Hens, as Scotty pointed out, it's just done a lot of good stuff together. We've had a lot of good trips, a lot of good times just hanging out, doing stupid stuff. And, as Karl said, I imagine we're all going to be friends for life. So can't be the booze like Karl and Sarah and I. That's a little, another exclusive group that we've talked about. But the Hens are right up there in terms of importance to us. And certainly love all the guys out there, all the Hens that are watching. So.
And just one more, we'll always finalize this episode with a question for the cameraman. What are your thoughts on Ohio State this year in 30 seconds or less?
Good question. College football starting today with the Florida teams duking it out, but next week the Buckeyes get rolling. New season, new coach, new look, same old Ohio State passion and love. We'll hopefully make it through the season, make it into the top 4 this year, and see where we can go from there. But Buckeye lover for life here, and I'll always support the team.
All right, guys. So that concludes the first episode of the year. We're gonna hopefully do this, every month or so. We are gonna have a special bonus episode next. So you might see me with the same shirt. Yes, we're gonna tape it again. Never know. Dan could back out and get another job. I am kind of cheap with my money here.
I am confident that Karl will pay us, and you'll probably see online that we're going to have an online store with some T-shirts. That was part of the contract negotiations. Proceeds will be going to me.
We should do the crowdsourcing.
We should do the crowdsourcing. That's right.
All right. Till next time.
All right, guys. It's been real.